Hello all. Let's start a little simulcast here. I got a couple irons in the fire, guys. Facebook, a couple other channels. Guys, I wanted to do a video today, audio video. I wanted to create some content to help you guys identify a very common cause of blogging failure. And this is odd in many regards because it is so easily avoidable. It's an odd cause of blogging failure, and there's really a super speedy solution to it as well. So before we dive in, guys, you could stop by my blog, bloggingfromparadise.com. I have tons of courses, no, actually 2 courses, tons of blog posts, tons of ebooks. I wrote and self-published over 120. And I think 55, at least 50 plus are about blogging, blogging tips. And we have paperbacks, and audiobooks, all that good stuff as far as research materials to help you become a successful blogger, to help you learn blogging, how to blog the right way, which is really, really important. Now, guys, this cause of blogging failure, it's odd, and it bedevils so many aspiring bloggers, even bloggers that have had their domain in hosting for a number of years, but it just can't seem to make any progress, no headway. And here's the main cause of blogging failure. For really most bloggers, and it's odd because it's easy to overcome when you become aware of it, and it's strange because in so many other facets of our lives, it's not even something we contemplate. And I'll get into that in a second. But the cause of blogging failure, guys, is not taking blogging seriously by giving blogging a full-time work and energy commitment. And the reason why it's odd is because nobody, very few people, I should say, very, very few people would ever dream of doing this with their 9-to-5 job as an employee. A few students would really, I'm talking about college, university students, would ever make this same mistake. Parents, that could kind of go in both directions, but overall, most parents wouldn't make the mistake of not committing to raising a child by just, on a worldly level, allowing a child to starve and die. Or just let them wander. Most. It's just odd because people take their jobs so seriously, and they take their relationships so seriously, and they take college or university so seriously. They commit more to their entertainment, more to their streaming, Netflix and YouTube and Hulu and Amazon Prime. They commit more to that than their blogs. It's odd. People want to give blogging a shot. Well, I'll give blogging a shot. I'll give it a shot. Try it out. They want to try it out. Ooh, big hawk. Or no, actually, that might be a turkey vulture. They want to try blogging out and give it a shot. It's weird to me. It doesn't make any sense. So there's this medium that could really feel fun and freeing and fulfilling, and yes, quite challenging, quite scary to work the blogging channel. It unearths tons of fears. I totally get that. Totally get it. But bloggers tell me I'll give it a shot. I'll get around to it. Maybe I'll wing it. Come on, guys, let's get serious here. If I'm talking honestly, frankly, as I'm wont to do, most people take their entertainment, their TV shows and movies and streaming shows and their favorite, let's just say their favorite shows, watching them and committing to them, the time and energy commitment and the excitement, how much time you set aside. Most human beings take that 1,000 times more seriously as far as a commitment than they do blogging. And if you want to question that observation. Look at how many people give so much, hundreds of thousands of hours of watching streaming entertainment, which is fine, enjoy it, and then don't do anything blogging wise. They give no time to blogging. It's nuts to me. It's not sane. It's not a sane way of thinking. And it's so odd. And bloggers fail because they treat it like, they don't even treat it like a hobby. They treat it like an afterthought, like, oh, I'll get around to it. What would it be like if you got hired as an employee, hired, landed a new job, and you told your boss as you were walking out of you just got hired. You're like, this is great. And you turned around to your boss or prospective boss, we'll say boss, and you said, hey, I'm not sure if I really feel like working tomorrow. I'll give it a shot and see how I feel, and I'll get around to it. Maybe I'll be here, maybe I won't. Are you kidding me? They would say, you're fired. Yet bloggers do that all the time. They buy their domain and hosting and they're like, oh, I'll get around to it. And this is why they fail. They give it no attention, no energy. They don't learn how to blog properly. They don't create. They don't connect. They don't practice. They don't sit down and write and publish posts that solve their readers' problems. It's just like it's a total pipe dream. And there's really 3 levels. During your amateur days, even as a newbie blogger on day 1, you could visualize yourself treating your blog like a serious business years before and thousands of hours before it becomes that way. And it has to be that way because you have to take this seriously and commit fully to succeed. That's just the way that it is for a long time. Or you could treat it like a hobby, which in a lot of ways is good from a sense of detachment. So you're not focused on money outcomes and all that other stuff, but you still have to put in the commitment. And when it's purely hobby-based, most of us treat hobbies as, well, I'm going to do my 9-to-5 job and then maybe like a half hour, a couple nights a week, maybe like a half hour a night, I'll do this hobby bit. And that's still not good enough because where your attention and energy grows, you really got to commit. Or blogging is a complete afterthought. I'll get around to it. You're in a relationship with someone as far as your level of commitment. Well, you have to communicate and be there and love and help this person. Talking romantic. Let's say romantic relationship. Well, I'll get around to that stuff. I'm just going to worry about myself. See how well that relationship works. You guys will be splitsville so fast. Well, you have to care for this baby. And, well, I'll get around to that. Baby just. It sounds funny, but it's really not, because so many bloggers have this just intense struggle for a very long time. I'm talking like really, really long time. So many nightmares, there's so much frustrations. And it's because they go at it in fits and starts. They write a blog post, they publish a post, they spend 45 minutes today writing and publishing a blog post, and they vanish for 3 weeks. Like, are you serious? If you did that on your job, if you worked 45 minutes and walked out of the office, you'd be fired that day in the beginning. Or maybe, well, let's say from the beginning. That's how most bloggers treat it from the beginning. Or let's say you gave it effort for 3 months. Every day you were maybe not blogging, but networking. And then you're like, oh, I get 10 people today to visit my blog. I'm going to quit. Come on. Nothing happens in 3 months. You're just getting started. This is a serious gig. But if you have a vision, and really that's the key. That's the easy, quick solution to this common mistake of not committing to blogging, not working, not learning, not giving it time and energy every day, 3 hours, whether you're a full-time employee or not, whether you're doing it part-time or full-time, you have to do it. Like, guys, come on. This is stupid. It's not intelligent to think that you're going to succeed by not giving your attention and energy to blogging. It's strange. And the solution is, when you develop a vision in your mind, and it's quick, it's the speedy solution. You sit in a quiet room and you build this vision of, wow, where can blogging take me? As a channel, as a worldly channel, if you will. Where can it take me? Where will I go? Ooh, wow. When you start dwelling on the possibilities, maybe circling the globe as a full-time blogger down the road, or blogging from home, working from home through your blog. So you get to watch your kids grow up, and you don't just see them in the morning when you're walking out the door. Maybe you don't even. Maybe you just see them for 2 hours each night until Saturday. So Monday through Friday, it's like 2 hours with your kids. And you're like, I'm sick of this. I want to watch them grow up. So if you commit 100% to blogging and you put in the work and learn and you're generously creating and connecting, then you could be working from home as a full-time blogger instead of going into an office down the road after you commit and put in the thousands of hours, so you could watch your children grow up and pick them up from school for lunch and go out to lunch here and there. Pick them up at 2 or 3 when they get home from school. Ask them how their day was. Go for a hike in the park. It's like, what's freedom? Freedom is the ultimate goal with everything, and that's what blogging can give you. So that's the solution when you realize, man, this is this will be such a freeing endeavor if I just give the attention and energy to it, and then you'll commit instantly. It's just based on what you value. When you don't value freedom and you're scared of your fears, you will not commit to what frees you. And when you have no vision, you'll put blogging on the back burners because you're fully, let's say, firmly ensconced. You're planted in survival mode. You're just trying to survive more than anything. So you're not going to step in the direction of giving your attention and energy to something that actually frees you. No way. You can't. Because you're spending your attention and energy predominantly, if not entirely, to surviving. And then when you're not at your job and not in survival mode, you're just trying to get by and just trying to get by. You have so much fear in your mind. Survive, fear. You distract yourself. You have no time for something freeing like blogging because you have to watch the news to unwind or entertainment or have a beer or go out with your friends. So it's this, I will give all this attention, energy to surviving, and then I'll spend my free time away from my job distracting myself with hours of sports and streaming and do it. You're free to do it. But you'll never be happy and free. I'm talking about liberated. When you're living in survival mode and you're giving all this attention and energy to just trying to survive, and you through a job, and then you give the free time away from the job to distractions, drinking, drugs, or even sex. I mean, that's how it is. A lot of people. And that's the lower energy stuff. But then lower energy distractions like watching streaming for hours and hours. Oh, let me get this show. I got to watch my latest show. Cool. I love streaming too. Tomorrow night on a Sunday here in the States, I'll be watching, 3 in one night. I'm watching Dexter. Or maybe I'll move it back to Monday. But Curb Your Enthusiasm, Succession, I enjoy them. I enjoy them for the entertainment that they are. But I'm committed to blogging before that. I've been committed to blogging since 2007 for 15,000 hours. This is no joke, guys. This is a real deal. But the freedom, I circle the globe. I get to help people blog. That is such a cool life. But this cause of failure is just zero commitment to blogging. I'll be back in a second. Hold on a second. I'll still talk to you. The zero commitment to blogging, if you don't commit to blogging, there's no way blogging is going to commit to you. And it's odd because there's so many different areas of our lives where we commit jobs. Oh yeah, I'm fully committed to that job. I never miss my job. People don't miss a day of their job for decades. But I'm fully committed to my family, to my wife, to my husband, to my kids. All awesome. And then it's this gig called blogging that could take you so far and it will free you from so many struggles and so much unhappiness. And there's a general aversion to freedom and fun and fulfillment. And with that general aversion, that fear, bloggers are like, I'll give it a shot. I'll get around to it. Now, there's a very sneaky ego con game that's prevalent. All right. Bloggers say that they've been blogging for 4 years now, and they're still struggling. You know what's really happening? In almost every case, bloggers have owned their domain and hosting for 4 years. So they've been paying bills for 4 years. The credit card payments have been replenishing. So they own their blogs for 4 years and have committed 50 hours over those 4 years. So that's nothing. Should be committing 50 hours in a week to 2 weeks, writing, researching, learning, engaging in blogger outreach. That's what it takes. So don't ever say you've been blogging for that long. You've paid domain and hosting bills for that long. Real bloggers during that time frame have been blogging 2 to 4 to 7 hours a day, or if you work a full-time job during that time frame, 2 to 3 hours a day. That's blogging. You have to actually blog. And that doesn't mean sitting and writing and publishing posts alone. It means engaging in blogger outreach, learning how to monetize your blog, how to move higher in blogging circles, furthering your blogging education, investing money in courses and ebooks and audiobooks and coaching, promoting other bloggers on your blog. Like, this is commitment. This takes thousands of hours. But when you have freedom in your mind, you're like, I'm doing this to circle the globe and maybe to leave a job I'm not happy with, or to leave a job so I could watch my kids grow up, or spend more time with my husband, or spend more time with my wife, or whatever it is for you. Or even if it just truly is a part-time gig. Like, you love your job, you have fun with your job, but I just want to do this part-time to perhaps add some income, and just more than anything, free myself. Then you will put in the time. That's the speedy solution. You'll commit. You'll be like, okay, 3 hours tonight I'm blogging. I'm going to give 3 hours to blogging every night. It's instant when you know why you're doing it and you tie the reason to something fun and freeing. And it's not just the freedom of it, it's the fun. You really have to pick a niche you feel passionate about. Of course, that solves some pressing problem. And you better believe that that you better be passionate. You have to be passionate about it. Because if not, you'll quit. You won't commit. If you're not passionate about this gig, if you don't value freedom, if you don't value the fun that you experience, and it's a weekend now, today's a Saturday here, you'll say, oh, I'm going to spend all day watching football games, going out, I'm going to go to a party, going out to the bar, going out to eat, and just give all my time to my family or to myself and just do the entertainment bit, or go to the park all day. I don't know, it's warm where you're at. But if you give your attention and energy to that, you've committed to that, and you're not committing to blogging. So if a day passes and you're not learning about blogging, and you're not writing and publishing a post or engaging in outreach or monetizing, or like, nothing's going to happen. Of course you're going to fail. There's no commitment. But when you have that fun and freedom in your mind, then you'll give 2 hours to blogging or 3 hours to blogging on a Saturday. And you'll give 3 hours to going to the gym and doing some cardio along with your weight training, if you do that. And you'll give an hour to the fam. You guys go out to eat, or your husband or wife, or boyfriend or girlfriend. Maybe an hour or two to study, and then maybe a couple hours, an hour or two to streaming. It's cool. But you value blogging, so you get in the work. You have to work at this, guys. You have to put in the time. You have to commit. If you don't commit, you're toast. You will never succeed. You will forever fail because you're not working. You're not actually sitting in front of a computer. And the thing that's really strange to me, and like I said, it's odd, but again, it's how the ego works with its fears. People are so committed to, I don't want to say worthless endeavors, because everything has its value in its own way. Like entertainment, properly filtered, it feels really fun and interesting and fascinating, and it stokes your creative fire watching streaming or whatever. It can be really helpful. That's it. But when it becomes hours of distraction, where it's just kind of going on in the background and you're not even paying attention, it's not inspiring you, but it feels comfortable and comforting to pull you away from your greatest love and fun and freedom, then it is not helping you, and it's not a good thing. So if you're spending that many hours watching streaming or gossiping or following the news, and at the end of the day you say, well, I didn't have any time to blog, that's BS. You had all those hours to blog. You chose to distract yourself with all those hours. You didn't commit to the 2 to 3 hours because you don't see the value and freedom in blogging, and you see the value in, you value distracting yourself and not facing your fears and not committing and not freeing yourself and making excuses. And this is one of those real heart-to-heart type deals that you have to have with yourself if you ever want to become a successful blogger. You have to commit, you have to work. But of course, if it's coming from, I have to, or I'm pushing myself, or it's so uncomfortable, it's a nightmare, then either you don't love your niche and you're doing it mainly for money or popularity, or you're truly resistant to blogging to the point where it's not fun and it's not enjoyable and it doesn't feel pleasant. So then you stop blogging and you do something else that feels fun and pleasant and enjoyable and where you're being truly helpful. Guys, you're never going to succeed unless you're being truly helpful to other human beings, because if you don't commit, that's one thing. Of course, you're not going to succeed. But then if you're just here and there popping in to publish a few posts and you're not thinking about your readers and helping them and solving their problems, then you better believe that your blog's going to be a cyber diary that only you will read. You have to be truly helpful too. And this comes from committing to learning how to blog from professionals. They'll teach you how to do it, but you'll have to learn from them and practice a lot of different skills, which takes 1 to 2 to 3 hours a day, every day. It's just how it is. Like, it's not going to happen on its own. You go to your job, if you work a full-time job, 40 hours a week, you don't get a paycheck for sitting at home. At least most jobs. Worked in the shipping terminal, and sometimes people did, you know. But you go to your job and you work it, and you'll get that paycheck. Blogging's very different because the paycheck doesn't come for a while until you become really skilled by practicing a lot. However, it frees you from that whole illusory, world of the matrix of fear when you really go deeper and deeper and build it and work and commit 1, 2, 3, 4 hours a day, 8 hours a day, doing the generous creating and connecting and networking and monetizing, learning, hitting your hashtag. Like, when you're doing this working, then blogging's amazing. And you step entirely out of the world of employment if it's not it for you. You're your boss, you're your entrepreneur, you call the shots, you get to help people. It feels so good to help people, but you have to actually help them. You have to actually help them to succeed, to thrive. Thanks so much. Yummy, really appreciate it. Oh man, wow, we're getting there. I wanted to keep this under a half hour, of course, because I got stuff to do. Maybe do a little cardio. I don't know if I'll be able to get to the park. Maybe I will. Play by ear. But I feel better now that I helped you guys. So yeah, we'll call it a day at about 22, 23 minutes. A little simulclass going on here. Guys, this cause of blogging failure is not committing, treating blogging like a hobby where it's just like, oh man, I'll get around to it here and there. Yeah, I'll do it for like a half hour here and there. Or a complete afterthought, like I'll get around to it this weekend. No, you have to work now. You have to be blogging now for 1 to 2 to 3 hours. That does not mean writing a post and publishing a post for those 2 to 3 hours every day. That means writing and publishing a post maybe in the beginning once a week, but then those 2 to 3 hours watching videos like this, leaving comments below. So you pop up on my radar screen. And I'm like, oh, that's a fellow blogger. Let's start connecting and networking. And you're commenting on these videos. When I checked on my Facebook the other day, I put blogging as the search on Facebook as a query, and it said related keywords, Ryan Bidoff. People are finding me. So when you pop up and comment genuinely on my videos, then bloggers, prospective bloggers, people who want to learn about blogging will go to your blog, or they'll learn of you. And this is how you gain exposure. You align with people that have greater pull on these networks by helping them. But you have to spend the time to watch my videos and invest in my ebooks and my courses and take them and read them and learn and study and put the knowledge into action. Put my experience into action. That takes time. That takes 1, 2, 3 hours, 4 hours a day. Got to do it. And then also reading the blog posts, putting them into action, applying. That takes time. Has to. This is how you succeed. It doesn't happen by sitting there. But when you know why, when it's for that fun, freeing reason, forget about it. That's the simple, the speedy solution. Then you will put in the time when you love blogging and you're passionate about it. Then you'll put in the 2 to 3 hours. You'll build a day around that in some regard. You'll just schedule it in. And then that's when things over the long haul really begin to pop. So guys, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this content, share it with your friends. If you know any fellow bloggers that are just struggling to commit, share it with them. And then this way, when we spread the word, and you could do it through Facebook, Twitter, your blog, your list, whatever, wherever you want, LinkedIn, wherever. And this will inspire more bloggers to commit fully to blogging, to address their area of not committing, looking at blogging like an afterthought. And then from there, everything will really, over the long haul, things will start to change. You'll gain the confidence and clarity because you're committed, and things will begin to roll. So thanks so much, guys, for stopping by. Until next time, you know what to do. Enjoy paradise, everybody.